What's up, everybody? Welcome to the temple. Today, we're going to be talking about power versus timing. Everybody chasing power, but timing is what actually lands. Okay, so I'm going to break down what power actually is to me. So, power equals force plus commitment behind the strike. That comes with technique, rotation, and explosiveness. But power means nothing if you miss, it's just wasted energy and a slow recovery. What timing is timing equals hitting at the exact right moment. It's about rhythm, anticipation, and also reading your opponent. Good timing feel like you barely threw it, but it land clean. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all can relate. You probably was sparring and probably hit somebody with a shot, and you was like, "Dang, I wasn't even trying to hurt you with that," but it dropped them. A lot of times we can use like body shots, for example, especially when you throw a body kick. You don't even have to throw it for real. You can just like land it at the right moment, at the right spot, and they just drop. That's what timing is to me. And I think it's just a beautiful execution when you actually can time it right and you actually know what you're doing rather than you just throwing shots and you like, dang, what did I just hit him with? Or you just get hit with something and you like, dang, what it you don't even feel like he hit me hard, but he just caught me at the right moment. That's how beautiful timing is, okay? And that's why timing beat power. For example, counter punches that drop stronger fighters, you can beat somebody to the punch. Like when you trying to knock somebody out and you throwing a wild shot, it's way too much room for expulsion. I mean, exposure. I'm sorry, I used the word. I used the wrong word. Exposure. You see they trying to cock it back from Timbuktu, and you don't even got to block it. You can hit them with two shots before they even land. You can beat them. It's literally you're literally beating them to the punch, man. You get what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be careful when you're throwing them wild shots too, because it's not just about, oh, I'm finna hit him with everything I got. But you got to really take your time and be careful what you're throwing because a good fighter gonna see straight through that. And it happens a lot with bigger fighters too. Like I'll just say it's not. I'm not trying to shut down on big fighters or anything like that. But when I see a bigger fight, I'll be like, oh yeah, like I just got to make sure I don't get hit. Don't nah, mind you, them punches still hurt. You get what I'm saying? If you get caught with them, it ain't too pretty. But you don't really gotta be too worried because you like, all right, I know I'm faster than him. If I come in with a plan and be more strategic and be careful, I can hit him with a little something, and it's gonna tire them out even more because, like I said, they not used to the time and they not gonna throw. You feel me? They ain't really trying to pay attention to what they throwing. They just trying to knock you out because they know they bigger than you, and that's gonna be their downfall. And that's what you can use against them. That's gonna be your advantage. So pay attention to stuff like that. Precision strikes like short hooks, jabs, check hooks, and all time. It's like it's all time based. You get what I'm saying? Especially the jab. It's so beautiful. You get what I'm saying? If you can throw a good jab, I think 9 times out of 10, you the one that's like you are what how can I say it? I feel like you didn't already win the fight, but you already got an advantage on your opponent already. I'm pretty sure y'all probably heard it saying, he who rules the left rules the world. I got that from Ippo. That's an anime, that boxing anime. Pretty cool. I think y'all should check it out. But when he said that, I thought that was so beautiful because I'm like, dang, bro, that junk sounds so cool because he actually right. And the dude in the show, he beat him with all jabs, one hand. You can actually do that. If you time it right, that's all you really need. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't recommend it, but of course, if you feel like you polish like that, bro, go for it. I say try it out, especially when you sparring. Don't worry about, don't worry about all the extra combos. Get you a few shots that you want to throw. Stay consistent, stay disciplined. I feel like you're gonna always come out on top because I think that's way more important than like trying to show out, trying to get some type of glorious knockout. You get what I'm saying? You trying to really win. You trying to calculate. You trying to be calculated with your strikes. So don't go in there trying to be wild. You feel me? And think of fighters like Anderson Silva or like Mayweather, Conor McGregor, and Wonder Boy and stuff like that. Those type of fighters, they not really known for actually knock like having knockout power. It's not that they have knockout power. They just know when to land a strike. They just landing at the right time. And that's what separates them from a lot of fighters because they actually work on that craft and they actually work on the execution, rather than, I'm finna knock this guy out. Because we already know that. We already know we can throw a punch. We already know we got power. We already know we can hurt somebody. It's how you harness that. It's how you control that energy and, make it into something that's fantastic. You get what I'm saying? That's actually working on the art form. That's when the art come in. And like I said, y'all gonna hear me say it a lot, but it's a beautiful thing. I really don't. I really think like when you're taking your time and you calm, you see more shots. You see more opportunities in a fight. You get what I'm saying? So training for timing is like slow sparring, flow sparring, or like more controlled technical drills. I say drills where you focus on rhythm and not power, like slipping and countering. You get what I'm saying? And shadow boxing with focus and movement and foot placement. That's very important. I ain't gonna lie. I think I got a lot better just from me shadow boxing alone. Like I just shadow box all day, and people would be like, "Bro, how you get better?" And I'm like, "Dude, I just shadow box. Like, I can't even tell you. I don't have any special equipment. I don't have any special techniques. I just do the best I can, and I try my best to just try to learn my body, see what my body allowed me to do, and I think that come with shadow boxing. Yuri just was talking to Mighty Mouse. I think I didn't watch the interview. I gotta watch it, but I just seen something when he said he shadow boxed for 24 hours. And it's weird because I believe Yuri is the type of guy that shadow box for 24 hours, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think I feel like anything he say as far as the martial art, all the wild stuff they do, I believe him. And that's why I admire him. I feel like he is the perfect embodiment of a martial artist. And him and Izzy Adesanya. Izzy is more like Izzy Izzy not as like deep in tune with it as Yuri, but Izzy is the type of guy that's he got style. He got the style for it, and he can actually implement it, and it's effective in a fight, rather than somebody that's trying to look cool and gonna get knocked out. Like Izzy, not like just looking cool. He's actually performing well. And Yuri, he's not just training, doing all these wild training stuff just to look cool. He's actually, training to be that martial artist that he wants to embody, which is amazing. I admire him for that. That's why he got my respect. I feel like to me he's probably like top five, one of my favorite fighters. That don't mean he's the best. I'm just saying he's one of my favorite just because he embodies that art form. And when you use power, after you find the rhythm and the pattern, then you add power. Technique come first before anything. You gotta learn how to do the technique. When I see a lot of people that's like learning how to fight or they just throwing punches in the air and stuff like that, I be wanting to just tell them sometimes like, bro, you don't have to worry about actually throwing a punch right now. You get what I'm saying? You really gotta see how your body react and see how your body move when you throwing these shots, because a lot of times, when you start training, it's like you get your own style and you see how you can actually throw a punch. Not everybody throw a jab the same. Not everybody type the same. So you got to see what your body allow yourself to do. And I think that just come with finding your rhythm and finding your own rhythm. That's I just like to say that. I made a video about this the other day when we was talking about dancing and stuff like that. Like you literally have to find your rhythm. I think that's like the not the main foundation of learning how to fight, but I think that's a very important foundation. I'm learning how to find your rhythm. And I think it's just like power is just the finishing touch. It's not the foundation. Power is just what comes last because like I said, we already know we strong. We know you strong. You do 100 push-ups a day. Okay, cool. But if you don't know how to use that power, if you don't know how to use those muscles, you're useless, to be honest, man. Especially to a good fighter. We not talking about just a regular average schmo. You get what I'm saying? You go on against guys that just like you, that want it just as bad as you. So you got to learn how to separate yourself from that, and you got to isolate yourself from them type of fighters. And I think that's how you get the advantage when you think more deep into it. When you think more deep into your style and you actually take it serious, because a lot of people just want to go in there and fight. And then that comes with the mental aspect of it, because power just comes from aggression, but timing comes from patience and composure, man. The calm fighter usually is the one that finds the shot first, because he's paying attention to your rhythm. He's paying attention to your pattern. And once somebody find out your pattern is raps, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Once somebody find out your pattern and you don't really switch it up, I think they already got you beat, and you gonna have a long night, because a real fighter not looking to knock you out in the first round. Even though they can, it's possible. But that's not really the case most of the time, especially if it's a long fight, if it's a 5 round fight. First round is not gonna be the first round is not the fight. That's just y'all trying to measure each other out. You get what I'm saying? A lot of outside looking in, people don't really understand that, but all fighters understand that, They know what we looking for, and you know what you're looking for. So I say just pay attention to that. Like I said, be more calm, because I feel like that's how you'll bring more opportunities to you, and you'll see more things rather than just going in with full aggression. But to me, I feel like power is just for impression. When you're just trying to, in a way. I mean, I use Ilya Taporia as an example, because I feel like he got the perfect balance of power and precision. But I ain't gonna lie, he in his own element. I gotta give it to him, because the way how he just put those combos together is just absolutely beautiful, bro. The way how he can just go those many shots, upstairs and downstairs, and it's just, bro, magnificent. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's the perfect example of, like I said, technique, precision, and power. He's throwing it at the right time. He's hitting the right spots, and he's hitting you with aggression and power. So you can use Ilya Taporia, for example, and and I'm pretty sure you can tell, like, he trains like that. He talks about, how you throw multiple shots in one combo instead of just a 1 2 3, a 1 2 3. I don't think it's just him just throwing these shots. I feel like he's actually strategically drilling these shots, learning the time and learning the precision, learning when to actually throw the shots and where to throw the shots and how to land them and where to land them. And then he adds the power. You get what I'm saying? But he's a professional fighter. So when it comes to like UFC fighters, it's like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I can't. You can do whatever you want. You get what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna be the one to judge, especially if you win it, because if it's working, my God. So I'm gonna just end it with that. But I encourage y'all to you know, try it out during sparring. Don't try to knock somebody out. Find a good sparring partner. Find a good partner that's gonna hold the pass for you, and y'all work on that. Work on the slips. Work on the counters. Work on the timing. Work on your rhythm. Work on feints. You know what I'm saying? Actually opening up shots so you can have fun and see, okay, yeah, he reacting a little different. I can have fun with him. I'm finna tear him up. You know what I'm saying? And please be careful. Low sparring, man. Not too long ago, somebody just passed away in Mexico just from sparring too hard. You get what I'm saying? They wasn't in the ring. They wasn't in the fight. They was at practice sparring. And she was 2 months in. So God bless her soul. I pray all is well for her and her family. And I hate to end it off on that, but it's that serious. Like, this is not a game, man. We not sitting here playing around, you know. If you going in there and you learn how to fight, please, you got to, regardless if you want to compete or not, you got to be good. You got to be as good as you can be, so you can be on top at all times. So you will never be the one that's getting whooped on, bro. Especially if you paying your money to train. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if you gotta use that for a motivational factor, but after you get your little couple months in, you feel me, you starting to get your rhythm. I ain't gonna lie, start trying to figure out plans and start going with some good people so you can actually get better, so you won't get beat up all the time. You feel me? Cause hey, that was me, and I came to a point when I was like, yeah, I'm tired of getting beat up. I gotta separate myself. And of course, I still get my fair share. I ain't the best fighter, but I'm just sharing my philosophy with y'all. But if y'all like this video, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Thank you.